What's going on, Goombas? My name is Michael James. I'm a published author and full-time writer, and today I'm going to be going over 3 things every writer should do every single day. So, without any further ado, make sure you grab yourself a cozy writing sweater, and let's get right into it. So this is going to be a pretty quick video. I just want to go over 3 different things you should be doing every single day if you want to improve as a writer. If you do these every single day, you are going to see great improvement over time, especially in the first few months. If you're just starting out, you're going to see a huge leap in your writing skills and your writing arsenal. Or especially if you look at stories you've written today and look at them a year later, you're going to see how much you've changed as a writer, how much you've learned. So, number 1 is to read. And this might seem obvious, but you need to read a lot. And you need to read all kinds of stuff. Read nonfiction, read fiction, read different genres of fiction, read romances, read westerns, read sci-fi fantasy, read, suspense, read dramas, whatever it is, read everything, because reading is going to make you a better writer. You should also be reading about how to write. Read books that other authors have written on their tips on writing. You can learn a lot from them. So make sure you are reading every single day something. And I try to read every single day. I'm always working through a book. Right now I'm reading the book Dragonwyck, which was written back in like 1940. I like reading old books and then switching back to new books and then going back to old books and going back and forth so I can get kind of an idea of how the classics were written, as well as how to write newer modern writing and what is working today and what people like today. So make sure you are reading a lot and reading a lot of everything. The second tip is to write. And now this might seem obvious, but you need to write every single day. If you want to be a writer and you want to be a good writer, then you want to be practicing every single day. Think about a basketball player, right? How are they going to be better at their free throws or their three-pointers or their layups? Well, they need to practice. And if they practice it every day, it's going to become muscle memory and it's going to be easy. Our brain is a muscle too. You have to work it every single day. And that doesn't mean overwork it one day, fatigue yourself until next week when you're ready to write again. That means, dedicate a half hour or an hour of your time to writing every single day. And don't spend that time lollygagging or just kind of daydreaming or writing just a few hundred words. Like, write the entire time. Write as much as you can. Even if it's writing something as simple as maybe you're writing a story and you're like, I don't know what to write here. I'm going to skip this part and keep going. Writing something like that so you keep moving forward and keep writing. Just make sure you're writing every single day. I always say this in my other videos, but if you don't want to be writing what you're already working on, maybe you can't think of what to do in your story, you're at a point where you're stuck on an obstacle or you're hitting writer's block, don't work on your story then. Write in a journal, write about yourself, write about a totally different story, write some motivation to yourself, write some poetry, whatever it is, write something. You need to be writing every single day. And if you find yourself getting bored of writing, then maybe make a schedule. Monday is for fiction, Tuesday is for your novel, Wednesday is for short stories, Thursday is for poetry, Friday is for, reflection, writing about yourself and writing in a journal. Whatever it is, make sure you are writing every single day. Now, the final tip, and tip number 3, is to study. And I talk about this in my other videos as well, but you need to be studying how to write if you want to improve your skills on writing. Again, if I use the metaphor or the analogy of basketball, if someone wants to be better at basketball, they probably watch the pros play. They watch the tricks that people pull off. They watch the fakes they do. They look at how they shoot the ball, the way that they hold the ball, the way that they dribble the ball, all these things. They watch all these things to learn from the best, because if they can do it, then they can too if they just practice it, right? So it's the same with writing. You should be studying people's writing. You should be studying people that talk about writing in lectures or in videos. You should be watching videos on YouTube and on Skillshare and on other courses and stuff. You can be reading books about writing. There's so many outlets out there. One of the great ways you can learn about writing is to read something like a newspaper to see how professional article writing is done, and then go back, swap from that, and read like an old classic from Charles Dickens and see how he writes. And don't just read his work, but study it and underline where he talks about the place they are, or when he starts describing the main character, or when he adds a plot point or stuff like that. Try to be analytical with your reading so that you can study from the best of the best, you know? Or even if you have a favorite author that you've always loved, maybe you love Stephen King. If that's the case, then read his work and start underlining what he talks about in his books so that you can learn from it and see how he describes people, see how he describes a scene, see how he blends and flows his story and makes it work. You can also read his book on how to write. He has a book about writing fiction. Read it and study it and read it again and again. You can also study grammar and punctuation. There's a book called Elements of Style that is very famous that talks about all the grammar and punctuation rules. You should be reading that. Read it like once a year if you want, so you can always be refreshing your memory on those things. So those are the 3 tips I have. I know they're very short and very simple, but they are important to remember, and hopefully this is a good reminder to you. So if you like this video, please leave a like, leave a thumbs up, and leave a comment below if you have other tips you think that every writer should be doing. There's other writers watching this video, and they probably want to hear your tips that work for you as well, that help you improve as a writer. And then lastly, if you want, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate when people subscribe because it lets me know that I'm helping others and I'm encouraging other writers out there. So and if you want to do more studying, check out my other videos. Check me out on Skillshare. I'm always trying to put out more content for you guys because I want to share what I know and what I'm learning every day about writing so that you guys can be better writers too. So I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.